heard Mr. Hassett. Let's take each of the issues in turn. Number one, starting out with these predictions for many economists of higher inflation, lower growth going forward because of these tariffs.
I think it's almost inevitable. This is the biggest self-inflicted wound we've put on our economy in history. We're increasing inflation because the prices are higher because of the tariffs. That gives people less spending power. That means fewer jobs. Markets are looking at all of that, and they think companies are going to be worth $5 trillion less than they thought before these tariffs started. And that's just the loss to companies. If you add in the loss to consumers, a reasonable estimate would probably be something like $30 trillion. How big is all of this in comparison? Here's a comparison for you, George. The loss to the economy is like if all oil prices doubled. If prices of gasoline went to $6 or $7 or something in that range. We've never seen anything like this before. And whether it's economic forecasts, whether it's the stock market, whether it's Democrats making the forecast, whether it's Republicans like Trump ally Ted Cruz making the forecast, there's no one virtually who doesn't work for the president who thinks this is a good idea. And by the way, your guest, Mr. Hassett, before he went to work for the president, if you read his analyses of trade, for example, in his confirmation hearing in 2016, they're just like all the other economists, saying that when you put big tariffs on, you get big losses.
You know, you've heard varying justifications for the tariffs from different people on the president's team. Number one, here it's about raising revenue. Peter Navarro says, it's going to raise $6 trillion in revenue. The president talks about reviving the manufacturing base. Then you also have a back and forth on whether or not this is really designed just to get other countries to negotiate over tariffs. But those goals seem to be incompatible in some ways. What's your analysis of what's behind this and where it's going?
So look, there's a contradiction. If it's a crowbar and other people eliminate their tariffs, and we eliminate ours, and it's just making a deal, then we don't raise any revenue, nor do we get any businesses to relocate to the United States. If it's a permanent revenue source and trying to get businesses to relocate to the United States, then we're going to have these tariffs permanently. So the president can't have it both ways, and we don't know which way the choice is going to be made, but either way, we're not going to get the things that the president is promising.
If you're advising American consumers, also American corporate leaders, on where this is headed, how would you counsel them to prepare for all this?
Look, I think there's very good chance there's going to be more turbulence in markets. The two-day move we saw on Thursday and Friday was the fourth largest two-day move since the Second World War. The other three were the 1987 crash, the 2008 financial crisis, and the pandemic. So a drop of this magnitude signals that there's likely to be trouble ahead, and people ought to just be very cautious. But the risk is, of course, when all of us decide to be cautious, that can become a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Unless and until the president recognizes that this is a very serious error that is likely to have very adverse consequences, I think it's likely to make things very difficult. And I think people are right to hold off on making big new purchases. Businesses are right to be cautious. People are right to want to hold cash. What we need is a reversal of these policies. And until we have a reversal, I think we're going to have a real problem. This is a moment of testing for the president's advisors. The intellectually honest ones know that this reflects presidential 40-year fixation, not any kind of proven economic theory. This is the economic equivalent of what creationism is to biology, or what ending vaccines is to medicine. And the question is whether his advisors are going to have the courage to tell him that, and the courage to step away from being part of these policies if he's not willing to readjust.
Mr. Summers, thanks for your time this morning.